Jeffrey Allen Manchester, aka named the Roofman for his robbing strategy. Manchester robbed an estimated 40 to 60 McDonald's restaurants by cutting through their roofs. After he was caught, he escaped prison and living life on the run. He built his own hidden apartment in a Toys R Us, and he even fell in love. Join us as we deep dive into part 2 into the life of the Roofman.
Hello, friends and family. Welcome back to another episode of Weekly Bazaar. I'm Jessica.
I'm Montana.
And if you're new here, hi, hello. We've been waiting for you. Where have you been? You didn't join me.
I was, but I didn't know we were going to go with it.
Yeah, we always say different shit right there anyway.
So I was like, I'm just going to let her run with it. She does a great job.
Well, thanks. So we've had an exciting week. We
To
kind
say
of,
the least.
yeah, we did probably one of the coolest things we've done to date on our podcast yesterday. We're not going to give you all the details just yet because it's super cool. Or do you want to tell them?
They can wait.
They can wait. Yeah, it's worth the wait. It's pretty cool, guys. Not gonna lie, we're super proud of ourselves. It was something that happened so quickly. Like, it was put into motion so fast, and before we knew it, it was happening, and now it's happened, and we're like kind of on cloud 9 about it. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Are we going to do it as just a regular episode, or is it going to be like an extra?
It will be a regular episode.
So it'll be about a week.
So it'll be after this episode comes out.
After this one. Yeah.
This is going to be part 2 of the Roofman.
Super excited.
You're like, well, let's do like later in November. And I'm like, no, we're going to do it in spooky season. We're going to get it done with.
Yeah.
ASAP.
I'm glad that we did. Because the longer we would have thought about it, the more nervous we would have gotten. And I think it was good to just rip off the Band-Aid and do it. So
yeah, but the hint is we have someone special on our podcast.
Yes. Someone very special. Like, I'm still like, did we really do that? Oh my God. Anyway, enough teasing for now.
I know, we just did this last night, so it's like deja vu.
Yeah.
Good to see you again.
Yeah, I feel like we never left. And then we left our Riverside thing open because we had some technical difficulties and we were just playing it safe to be sure everything went okay. And like, we went our separate ways for a while, and then I came back and I was like, hello. She came back in and we sat down and talked for a little bit, like we were just hanging out.
Yeah, I was just sitting on the couch and I hear this, hello. That would creep me out if I didn't know that you were open on Riverside, though. I'm not going to lie.
I was trying to creep you out. And then I was like, Helen.
I mean, last night when we were filming the episode, though, something did happen with it that was actually like really creepy. And we've never had that happen. And what he was talking about, I'm like, this is really weird timing.
Yeah.
For that to happen.
Yeah, it was crazy. It sounded like he was being possessed by a demon, is what it sounded like.
Yeah, so I kept watching your face. I'm like, is she seeing what I'm seeing? But like, you were so calm. I'm like, am I the only one seeing this?
And hearing, like, it sounded so weird.
Yeah, like, I don't know if you saw me, but I was like going like this with my headphone. I'm like, it was a very weird, it was just, if the footage actually comes through, maybe we'll post it because it was creepy.
It was
so
yeah,
creepy.
we definitely should post it if we can, because it was weird. And just the whole subject matter, and like, I know we're being cryptic and you're probably super annoyed with us right now, but it's worth the wait, guys. It's worth the wait. It was just a creepy scenario, which is what we like.
And then he got like shut off, and then he came back on. And he was like, oh, sorry about that. And we're like, welcome to Weekly Bazaar.
Yeah, it never fails.
Bound to happen. So
yeah. At first, I thought it was me. Like, I thought something was happening on my end, but then when he disconnected, I was like, oh, okay. he's been he's been taken to the other realm.
Clearly, that was just. I haven't watched it. I haven't gone back and watched it. So when I go back and edit, I'm going to see what. I'm almost scared to because sometimes later it kind of pops up
Ooh.
on the, when you edit later.
Yeah. And just who he is and what he's experienced. Who knows
I
what
know.
you
That's
can
why it was
see.
weird. Which I've had. There's been two weird things that have happened this week.
Do I know the other one?
No, because it just. So my roommate texted me and she was like, was the energy guy in my apartment? And I'm like, what energy guy? And she
Energy
said,
guy.
I thought like someone was coming out to look at the different electronics or whatever because our bill's been really high. I was like, the only person that's been here because our furnace wasn't working was the furnace guy, but he was in the
Mm-hmm.
basement the whole time. And I was down here, so I know he was in the basement the whole time. I'm like, other than that, there's no one I know that's been upstairs other than me and Ryan and you in your apartment. And so she said that things got moved around in her apartment. Um,
Ooh.
she has like this window fan, and that got unplugged. And she said there was like her just certain accessories that were moved around. So I'm like, I
What the
don't
hell?
know. That was weird.
Creepy.
Like no one else has been in your apartment but you.
Yeah. That is spooky season. Welcome to spooky season 2025.
Halloween's tomorrow.
Yep. I'm locking my doors and turning out all my lights.
We don't get
so
trick or
so the
treaters.
demons don't come to my door. I don't know that we really do much anymore, but my neighborhood is kind of crazy about Halloween. Like if you can literally come drive through my neighborhood and see so many cool decorations because people go all out. And it was awesome when my son was little because we just like walk all the way up to the neighborhood, like to the rich neighborhood at the end of our neighborhood, and they would give like full size candy bars and all kinds of stuff. But like on the walk up there were so many cool houses, and there were even like certain houses would have beer and stuff in coolers and just hand those to the parents.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's a cool neighborhood to be in if you got children. But I mean, my son is grown, and I don't want kids in my yard. Thank you.
Are you supposed to turn off your porch light?
Yeah, I hope I remember to because
If
I
like you
always have
don't
my porch light on.
participate, basically.
Yeah.
I'm a college campus, so we don't get. I'm in the area you don't get kids.
Yeah, I'm such a Scrooge when it comes to children. I'm sorry, guys. It's just I don't know. I like certain children, and if I don't know them or if they're bratty, like I don't have much tolerance for that stuff, so it's probably best I just keep my distance. Yeah.
Halloween candy's expensive,
It is crazy now. I'm
and it's gonna be
honestly
on sale
surprised.
tomorrow.
I'm surprised that trick or treat's still a thing nowadays, just because of the way the world is and how paranoid people are. And I don't know.
It's definitely not
Gotta
like the
have
90s, early 2000s.
best times ever. 80s, 90s, 2000, early 2000s.
Well,
Oh,
happy
how things have changed.
Halloween.
Yeah. But the kids have to have something exciting to do. It's so different for kids now. Everything is. Like I'm so glad that I grew up when I did. I'll just say that.
Same.
Like even when my son was little, like he still got a pretty good experience with stuff like that. Things hadn't quite changed too much when he was still young.
How long did he trick or treat for?
A long time. I think until he was like 14, probably 13 or 14. I'll have
Oh,
to
that's
ask him.
normal.
Yeah, I'm not real sure. I think it was about that long. Shoot, I'd still go trick or treat if I could. Get some
I
candy.
would. Just because you're grown up doesn't mean you're too old for Halloween.
I mean, I'm dressed up right now and it's not even Halloween yet.
She has a blonde wig on today.
Yeah. And you like me better as a blonde.
You have like less than 24 hours till it's Halloween.
Right.
And go watch Hocus Pocus still. I beg of you.
I think I've seen it. It's just been such a long time I don't remember it. My memory scares me sometimes. Tony was talking about a movie the other day that we watched together. And I'm like, did I watch that? He's like, yeah, with me. I'm like, I do not remember it.
Maybe you just don't like it, so you out of your brain.
Yeah, could be. Could be. So what is everybody doing for Halloween? Are you doing anything cool and fun? Send us an email and let us know. weeklybizarrepodcast, gmail.com. Let me know what your spooky traditions are. But we know you won't.
It's going to be like the inside joke that no one wants to send us emails.
And then once we start getting floods and floods of emails, we're going to really bite our tongues then.
No, that's when you have someone sort through for you.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I feel like it's been longer than a week since we did part 1 of this series.
It has, because we're not filming on a normal day.
Oh, that's right.
That's my fault. It's been a really...
You've had a rough week.
I've had a very rough week.
It's been a week of ups and downs for you.
More downs than ups. Not to complain, but it's been a very rough week.
Yeah.
And it's Thursday. But last night was a good distraction. This will be a good distraction. So,
yep.
I'm thankful for it. So, last we left off, he did find the Toys R Us because he MacGyvered his way out of prison.
Yep.
Which is insane. So, to back up a little bit, he decided that he would go to Charlotte because it was close enough that investigators would assume he'd flee farther, but close enough that he needed to establish himself very quickly. And that's when he needed to seek shelter immediately, and that's when he found the Toys R Us, sitting in a retail area surrounded by highway reconstruction. Reconstruction. So he found a Toys R Us, and then next door to the Toys R Us was the Circuit City, and the Circuit City was completely vacant, so the two stores actually shared a wall. He could access the toy store during business hours, scout the layout, and identify hiding spots, and the closed electronics store offered potential for something more permanent. So, as we said before, his initial hiding place was behind the bike rack in Toys R Us.
Wonder why you chose a Toys R Us and not like a Walmart or something that had food.
Well, I'll get to that, but he does eat a lot of baby food.
Oh, okay. That explains it.
And it seems like back in the day, there was so much to Toys R Us than there is now. Like, there was a lot that they had there that he could easily have access to. But he chose the bike rack in Toys R Us because there was a dead space, a gap between displays and wall that most employees never really noticed. So he could slip in during the day, remain perfectly still, while customers and workers passed just feet away, then emerge at night when the store closed. And this is what he did temporarily, because temporarily it worked.
That would never work for me. I can't stay still.
Me neither. So for the first few weeks, he literally lived like a ghost in a toy store. Nobody
This
knew
man,
he was there.
he has more patience than anybody I've ever heard of in my life. Like, this is the most patient man in the world, I think.
Yeah, because he took him 4 years to plan the perfect escape from prison.
Yeah, 4 years. I thought I was patient, but
He's a
gotten
very
beat.
patient man. But again, he was a paratrooper, and all his skills he learned, nothing taught him to be patient.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you act quickly, you might make more mistakes.
Yeah. And I mean, he had a purpose too that he was willing to be patient for. Like he didn't really have anything else going for him but this master plan of his to use his military skills. So that was probably just all he cared about.
He'd arrive before the doors opened, walking in with early shoppers, and simply disappear into his hiding spot. And so again, this isn't like the cameras operation that, every store has now. The cameras are everywhere. And to answer your question, baby food from the infant section became his primary nutrition source, and they're the jars he could easily and quietly open and eat.
I bet he had the shits really bad. Just saying.
I didn't even think about that.
But I bet he did. I bet that was rough.
I know
Like no
there are
solid food.
No, there are bodybuilders that eat baby food.
Why? Just
I don't
does it
remember.
I wonder if it's fortified with more nutrients or
I
something.
don't know, but like especially the sweet potato. Not a bodybuilder. I don't know. Baby food
Ew.
sounds disgusting to me.
Yuck.
It's baby food. It's for
Yeah.
babies.
It's bland as shit. Like, why not just make your own baby food, but like make it taste good?
Because he's in a toy store. He doesn't have access to
I mean,
a
bodybuilders.
kitchen. Oh,
If you're gonna eat baby food for whatever reason, make your own.
I don't know. So yeah,
Anyway.
his main source of food was baby food. And he then started exploring the building after hours, going over every corner and closet. So that's when he actually discovered the connection to Circuit City. So the shared wall was thin with the right tools, with the hardware section convenient, actually provided he could create a doorway. And he worked over several nights. So what he would do is he would cut through the wall section by section. He fashioned a spring-loaded door using a bungee cord, something that would snap shut behind him and remain invisible unless you knew exactly where to look. He found a stairwell in Circuit City, and then the space underneath it offered enough room for a person to stand, sit, like basically live in. And so he got to work. He transformed that dead space into an apartment, something resembling an apartment.
Over how much time?
Several nights.
Okay.
He hauled merchandise through his secret door from Toys R Us, like Spider-Man bedding, toys. He hung a Superman poster on one wall. He would arrange toy models of Yoda and other action figures like they were artwork. And the electricity still functioned in the abandoned store, so he was good to go. So
Was.
he tapped into it, rigging lights and power for a DVD player that he took from the Toys R Us stockroom.
The DVD player we need for our DVD night. Or no,
DVD
no, that was CD night. We were gonna listen to
players
CDs.
are also kind of becoming obsolete as well.
Yeah. When I got my PlayStation, you had the option to get one with a disc drive or not, and I just couldn't not get one. But I don't even use it. It's just not necessary anymore.
Well, there's so many streaming services that people aren't really buying movies these days.
Mm-hmm. I miss the good old days of Blockbuster and going into the
Friday
like
night, get your movie and your candy. Hell yeah.
even when Dominic was little, like I would take him to the video. Like he loved going to the video store and just picking out like random old cartoons, and it was so nice. Miss those days.
Someone was like, tell me you're old without telling me you're old. And they just got in their wallet and took out their Blockbuster card they still had.
Yeah.
Is there any still around?
I don't know. I don't think so. Not that I know of. I know that they did the what was the red box or black box? I can't remember what that
That was
was.
for Netflix, though.
Oh, it was.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I never really did that, but I kind of skipped that one. I went straight
If
from the
you,
video store to streaming things, but
because you picked a movie you wanted to watch, so you would send it in or something, and they send it to you. You watch it, return it.
okay.
Oh wait, I know what
Yeah.
you're talking about. Redbox. I haven't even seen those in a while. Where you like go into a
Yeah.
grocery store and you just rent a movie from the Redbox. That's what you're talking about. I was thinking
Mhm.
of the Netflix one.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I ever did the red box thing.
Done that a few times, especially when Blockbuster became obsolete and there wasn't as many streaming services as we have now. We've done it a couple times. But what was the Netflix thing called? Was that its own name?
I don't know. I never did that. So I have no idea what the hell you're talking about.
Well, it went Blockbuster, the Netflix thing, and then Redbox. So I need to pay attention in stores if there's still Redbox. I haven't paid attention.
Me either. I do use the kiosk now for um, your tags and stuff for the car. Like when you have to renew your tags and your registration, you can do that at a kiosk in Kroger now. It's
Oh,
just
really?
really, yeah, it took me like 3 minutes to do it. It was awesome. I did that the last time, but this year I did it through the mail, but still,
Yeah, mine
yeah,
just comes in the mail.
if you don't want to deal with people and you're a last minute kind of person, you forget to do the through the mail option, just go to Kroger and they have a kiosk and it takes like 3 minutes. Unless you have to have your ID renewed. You can't do that at the kiosk. Anyway, hopefully I taught somebody something today.
Electronics are taking over the world.
Mm-hmm. It's a really scary thing for jobs. Really scary thing. Like, they're not going to need us humans anymore.
No, and I had a client tell me that Tom Brady, a football player, something with AI where there is a robot massage. Because you know
Go
every big game
figure.
needs robots. I'm like,
It's probably terrible.
I know. I was just like, I can't picture that because also a lot of people get massages for the human touch.
Exactly. I was just going to say, you can't replicate that. I don't care how good the massage is. I don't know. Maybe some people wouldn't give a shit, though.
I
I
would.
mean, I would too.
I feel like grabs your shoulder and like malfunctions and just like squeezes.
That would suck.
That would hurt.
That would hurt so bad. Or like your hand or your foot. If it just was like death grip, no thank you. Would you be able to date a bot, a robot? Like
No,
make
would you?
your robot man? Fuck no.
No. Do you watch Big Bang Theory?
No, my mom freaking loved that show though. I never watched it.
It's a good show. But one
I
of the
think I'd probably like
characters,
it.
you would. And it just, because the main character is a physicist and
Mm-hmm.
he's nerdy and short with glasses. So, like, when you picture him, that's like my old roommate to a T. He was also a physicist and short with glasses and same personality.
Wasn't he the guy that was on Roseanne? He was
Yeah.
Darlene's boyfriend. If
Hmm.
that doesn't show my age, I don't know what does.
I'm slipping on
If
his
you know,
name
you
right
know.
now, too, in the show, and I know Big Bang Theory. Leonard. Leonard, yeah.
Leonard.
So it just makes me think of my old roommate who I loved, but that's exactly what it is. But one of the friends in the group, he created a robot and he used the robot. He took it home and you see where I'm going with this?
Unfortunately.
Yeah. So he used it and then it got stuck.
Oh no.
And he was afraid to turn it off to turn it back on because he was afraid it would just like pull off his thing.
Oh my god. See? That's a big reason why you shouldn't do this, kids. Don't try this at home.
Yeah, but I'm sure they're gonna have a bunch of sex bots out there, and
Oh, they're already making them. Have you
that's
seen
like,
them?
I don't want to. Like, I don't. Everyone's like, this is the
Crazy.
new generation, but like, I think it's terrifying. They're gonna take over the world.
Mm-hmm.
Humans are gonna be, we're gonna be like Judgment Day, like Terminator. Machines are gonna take over, and they're just gonna annihilate the human population.
I'm not gonna lie, I would totally become a cyborg.
The rate we're going, you probably will.
I mean, if it could like lengthen my lifespan, hell yeah, I would do that. And if I could like get implants and shit to upgrade my kit, like super jump or something like that, that'd be awesome. Or like strong arm to where you could just knock somebody through a wall. That'd be so cool.
Again, don't be surprised when you do that like in 10 years from now. This is just my fear. Machines are going to take over and
It's
humans
gonna be
become
scary.
obsolete.
Yeah.
They have
It's
made
gonna,
movies about this.
and that's the thing that just blows me away with shit like this. Like we know it's gonna happen and we just let it happen.
I just think we should put resources into curing cancer, curing diseases, rather than sex robots and robots do this now. Now robots deliver you your food when you go out to eat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, cure cancer. Like, let's work on the problems with like climate change and shit like that. I know people don't like to hear that stuff, but it's actually a thing.
It's not real,
And
Jessica.
I know the earth is flat. Duh.
It's just sarcasm.
Yeah.
All
You
right.
either get it or you don't.
We'll get back to Manchester.
Oh, yeah, that's what we're here for. I thought we
That
were just here
guy.
to hang out and talk.
That guy. I don't know where I left off.
Welcome to
Yeah.
Weekly Bazaar.
So he hung posters on the wall. He had action figurines, like little knickknacks. He had his own DVD player that he rigged from Toys R Us. He's stealing from Toys R Us, which is kind of hilarious. So he even routed water from the toy store's plumbing through the wall, creating a makeshift sin. He installed a smoke detector, but not because he was worried
Wow.
about fire, but because having one made the space feel more legitimate, like more like an actual home. His own very apartment.
I'd do the same thing.
He
I
even
used to do
painted the
that.
walls.
Oh. I used to, my grandparents on my mom's side used to have, they lived out in the country and they had a couple different barns on the property. And I would go out in those barns and make them like my house. Cause they had, I mean, they were old barns. So they had all kinds of really cool shit in them, like old furniture and old like trinkets and knickknacks and all that stuff. Like I even found, I probably should have taken some of that stuff. It's probably valuable because there was like
Probably.
a silver plate. I'm sure it was real silver because it was tarnished.
Yeah.
Like just stuff like that. And I'd set it up and like make it like a little house. So I'd totally do that in Circuit City.
We have real silver in our basement because, generation from generation from generation live here.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, is it even worth anything these days, though? Do people still buy into silver?
I feel like probably not so much right now, but maybe someday it will be again,
I
especially
mean,
when
Pokemon
robots take
cards are
over.
coming back, I guess.
Oh my gosh, I'm sitting on a gold mine of those. Well, Dominic is. Like he's got a huge collection that he kept. Like I have a, it's actually over here, but I have a whole, it's a huge box, probably like this big, just filled with Pokemon cards.
I want to know what happened to mine, but the amount people will pay for these Pokemon cards these days.
Yeah. He's got a whole thing of Nerf guns that he kept too, like a whole collection of Nerf guns. And like he could probably sell those for big bucks too.
Just tell them to get on eBay and see what people are buying.
Yeah.
They'll bid for it. But, so yeah.
Anyway, back to the show.
Like I said, he even painted the walls. He wanted them to like make them brighter.
Ew. The look you just gave me.
because I know exactly what yours would look like. The
Yep.
sun, the sun. So what he would do was every evening after Toys R Us closed and the last employee would lock up, he would come out of his hiding spot and just literally have possession of the whole entire store.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, he would grab bikes from this display floor and he would ride circuits around the aisles. And sometimes he just spent an hour just riding, working up a sweat like a workout. The roof became his private playground. He would climb up using his rappelling skills, bring in remote controlled cars from the toy department, and for hours he would just race them across the flat expanse. And then food came entirely from the store's stock. So baby food remained his staple because it was easy to eat and impossible to track it. And he would supplement with snacks from the candy aisle, crackers, and anything that was non-perishable that wouldn't be immediately missed from inventory because stores lose merchandise consistently to like theft and damage.
Mm-hmm.
So it's still a way for him to be under the radar.
Dang, people steal that much on a regular basis.
Yeah, in his mind, like a few missing items wouldn't go noticed. Well, I'm sure they get theft all the time.
Yeah.
Stores do. And again, we didn't have the cameras and stuff that we have today.
Mm-hmm.
And he opened packages of video baby monitors and he set them up throughout the store, positioning them to give him clear views of the entrance, the manager's office, and the employees' areas. So he's like spying.
Living his best life.
So from his Circuit City hideout, he could watch everything happening in the Toys R Us. He learned employees' patterns. He understood their shift changes. He identified which workers were thorough, which ones were careless, and basically he just became knowledge of the whole entire system. And
Sounds familiar.
He did this for months. Months.
It's exactly what he did with the McDonald's people.
He even began altering the store's operation to suit his own needs. So, like, for example, he moved papers around in the manager's office, changing employees' schedules slightly. So, just really small adjustments that created windows where he could move more freely through the store.
This guy's a genius. Like, what the heck?
I know.
Wow, you weren't kidding.
Mm-mm. Freaking MacGyver.
Yeah.
So, despite everything he was creating for himself, these last few months he was becoming lonely. And so he was tired of kind of being in isolation from everyone else. Because remember, he escaped prison, he's still on the run. Yep. And so
he needs to get his freak on. It's been a minute.
Get a robot from the Toys R Us section. Don't do that.
No, don't do that.
Those are kid toys. So this is actually where he comes up with a different alias, John Zorn. And he chose John Zorn. It wasn't random because he wanted a name that sounded real and something that wouldn't trigger suspicion when people Googled it or even asked a lot of questions. But just because he had the name, he still needed documents. And so he actually knew someone who could provide falsified identification papers.
How? Where did they meet? Prison?
Well, so the details are kind of unclear because he never revealed his contact's name. Even like years later when he was in prison, he never gave up who gave him the documents. And whoever it was, they did equip Manchester with enough documentation. So they gave him a driver's license and a social security card. And obviously they're not perfect forgeries that would withstand serious investigations, but they didn't have to be because Manchester wasn't actually like going out and planning to buy a house. You know, he was still going to be under the radar. He wasn't going to like apply for a mortgage. He just was, It was enough to get by. And he just wanted enough credibility to join a gym. He wanted to attend church services and even date.
So how is he getting money?
Well, because he's stealing. So
He was stealing the money from the registers?
that's a good question. It's been a while since I looked at my notes, but he does steal a lot from Toys R Us. Like, I do think he takes money.
You would have to. Like, where
And
else
you're
would he
going
be
to
getting
see,
money?
yeah, and you're going to see where
Okay.
he's getting his money. But I think he also, I don't know if he sold stuff or he stole stuff to sell stuff. I'm not sure. I don't remember. Like I said, it's been a minute since I've gone over these notes. But he's still, basically, when he gets in a relationship, he has to keep up. So he does steal. But we'll get there. But basically, now he just wanted a normal name, a simple name that wouldn't raise a bunch of red flags. And when people asked what he did for a living, Manchester told him he worked for the government in a highly classified capacity where he couldn't discuss the details because work was too sensitive. So
Smart.
basically, he was just like, it's national security stuff, can't talk about it, change the subject. And it worked. It was like, the explanation worked because it explained why he had no visible workplace. It justified why he couldn't invite anyone to see where he lived. And it made him seem mysterious rather than suspicious.
Clever. Very clever.
Mm-hmm. So in
And I
June,
mean, he could pull it off too, just based on like his knowledge.
he
He
probably was a
probably,
charming guy.
yeah, he probably just had that air about him
Just
where
a
it would be
likable
believable.
guy, didn't raise suspicions. And when we get into it, people saw him as a good guy.
Yeah.
In June 2004, he ventured out to Crossroads Presbyterian Church on Monroe Road, walking through the doors with his new alias, John Zorn, for the first time. And the pastor, Ron Smith, welcomed him with genuine hospitality. And when Manchester, told him his cover story about classified government, his government job, like Smith didn't pry, he respected privacy in his congregation. So he not only, Manchester not only attended services, that he literally threw himself into church life. So
Hmm.
he showed up for Wednesday night Bible study. He volunteered to help set up chairs. He would clean up afterward. He participated in discussions offering thoughtful insights that suggested he actually read the scriptures. And when the church organized events for children, Manchester was there. He was very engaging with the children. He started donating toys to the church's charitable programs, bringing in stuffed animals, action figures, and games, and he would distribute them to the unprivileged children in the community. And of course, I'm sure where you're wondering where he got these toys from. I mean, they were brand new. They were still in packaging, and nobody knew that Manchester was actually stealing them from Toys R Us. His home, basically where he lives. They just saw him this as They just saw him as this kind guy who cared deeply for making children happy. And he actually donated more items than anyone in the congregation.
I'm sure he did.
I would too if I was like, it's free stuff for him, just
Yeah.
making him look like a good guy. So, long story short, the congregation loved John Zorn.
Oh, just wait for it.
I know. So, a woman by the name of Lee Wainscott's life had recently fallen apart. She ended a 20-year marriage and found herself juggling single motherhood with 3 children while trying to rebuild her life at the same time. In October 2004, this is when John Zorn walked in her life.
Oh, it's just a couple months after Dom was born.
And Manchester saw her across the church social hall and he felt an immediate attraction to her. He approached her with the confidence of a man who successfully fooled an entire church congregation. So they started talking. Their chemistry was instant. And Lee actually later described him as a funny romantic and the most sensitive man she's ever met.
I don't doubt it, honestly.
The guy that every girl would want. she told reporters after everything imploded. Manchester was charming in a way that felt natural rather than practiced. He listened when she talked about her children, her work, the challenge of starting over in her late 30s. He didn't interrupt or try to fix everything. He just paid attention with an intensity that made her feel seen. It's almost like love bombing is what it sounds like to me in a sense.
Exactly what it sounds like.
And their first date was at Red Lobster. He
God, it's been so
arrived.
long since I've been to a Red Lobster.
I know, I can't even tell you what one looks like on the inside now.
Mm-mm.
He arrived well dressed. He was well spoken, clean in a way that suggested he took care of himself. He had money to pay for dinner
Sure he did.
without hesitation, mind you. Of course, Lee didn't know that he stolen this money. And when he would talk about his work in vague terms, always circling back to ask about her life, her dreams, her children. And so literally, like by the time dessert arrived, she was hooked. Like he had her reeled
That
in.
didn't take long.
No.
Sorry.
Farting.
Excuse me.
Girls don't fart. Stop.
No, they don't have buttholes.
Duh.
I'm not even gonna go there. Never mind.
Big gaping buttholes.
No, those gapes.
They started dating seriously. It's a short amount of time too, just mind you. And
yeah, one date. That's all it took.
Clearly. And they mostly spent evenings at her apartment. They would play board games with her daughters. They would watch television. And Manchester became a father figure to her children.
Wow.
He brought them toys constantly, always explaining he got a good deal or he found them on sale. But the thing about him to her was he seemed patient. He was very kind, and he engaged in their lives the way Lee's ex-husband never did. So it's kind of like you go from something toxic to love bombing, or you think something is great. So I can see where she would have gotten caught up in the whole entire situation.
Mm-hmm.
And like, so for Christmas, Manchester gave Lee diamond earrings. She wore them, showing them to friends and family, talking about this wonderful man who entered her life at the right time.
It just goes to show you never know who somebody really is.
No, they say
It's
it takes up
creepy.
to 2 years of dating someone to actually know that person.
Yeah.
And I believe it.
Yes, me too.
So, what she didn't know about Manchester was that he robbed the Toys R Us in the morning after giving her those earrings, putting a gun in people's faces and traumatizing employees.
He was doing that
Yeah,
at Toys R Us?
yeah.
What the heck? It's no wonder he gets caught. Like, why? What's going on? Like, why did you need to do that?
Well, he just didn't limit himself to church and dating. I think he was getting cocky, as you will.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Enough was not enough. He had to keep pushing, pushing, inching, and inching.
he joined a peak fitness gym, working out regularly among people that like no idea he was a fugitive. He ate at Red Lobster so much the staff recognized who he was. He went to the dentist because he needed dental work, filling out forms with his fake name, fake address. Like literally letting someone drill into his teeth while maintaining this fiction that he is John Zorn and not Jeremy
Wow.
Manchester. This was a quote. If you draw a donut around that circuit city, a Charlotte police captain later observed, I bet he talked to everyone within a mile. So Manchester wasn't hiding. He was performing the most elaborate act of hiding in plain sight the law enforcement has ever seen. He became a familiar face around the neighborhood. Just besides, I think, being cocky, he still did live with constant paranoia. He would watch the news obsessively, looking for any mention of his escape or signs that police were closing in. So, like, what he would do, he would plan escape routes from, like, everywhere he went So he would always position himself near the exits, and he was always aware of what was around him.
I'm honestly surprised he stayed in one place.
Because he fell in love.
Yeah. It's
And
very, very risky.
I think so, yeah. And then when Lee asked innocent questions about his past, so Manchester, he had to remember which lies he told to keep his story consistent. And when church members invited him to events, he had to calculate whether attending was worth the risk of increased exposure. And so late 2004, he needed cash to maintain John Zorn's lifestyle, just his life in general, because dating Lee was getting expensive. He dropped $5,000 in cash on a car for her.
Damn.
And so what he did was he saw Toys R Us as not just another robbery, but it would be his biggest score yet. So Manchester had been living inside the store since June, studying the rhythms that we talked about. So like I said earlier, he knew like what managers arrived, when the security would walk through, and exactly where the safe was in the office. And that's when he would manipulate the employee schedules a little more. So he would use...
This is nuts.
And using his knowledge of the store's internal systems, he began subtly altering shift assignments to create gaps in coverage. And employees did notice, but they just attributed them to management errors or like computer glitches.
Man, he's getting lucky with all this. Like, they're excusing this shit away with thievery and electronic glitches. Like, he's getting kind of lucky. And it's kind of weird to me that this sounds like bad management to me. like wouldn't you be a bit more suspicious that something else is going on?
Or like, is an employee doing this because they're trying to work less?
Or that, yeah.
Like, does so-and-so want this shift? So they,
Bad management.
Yeah, and remember when I said he was using the baby monitors throughout the store?
Mm-hmm.
So he positioned them to watch employees' movements and customer traffic patterns. So at night, hidden in his little secret room, he would monitor the store. So he learned which employees were observant, which were the easy ones to be distracted. He would identify the blind spots in the floor plan. And again, that's when he would map out multiple escape routes. But he also needed a weapon.
A weapon?
A weapon. So police believe he robbed a local pawn shop, walking away with a gun.
I thought you said a whippin'.
Whipping?
Like ass whipping. He needed that too.
He does need an ass whipping.
Yeah.
No. He had a gun. But what's even more disturbing is Manchester burned down the dentist's office where he received dental work.
Why?
Because he couldn't afford to leave any paper trail that might connect, John Zorn to Jeffrey Manchester. And dental records provide forensic evidence.
Smart.
He burnt it down.
I don't know. He's not really sounding like a good guy to me anymore. He's kind of, I don't know, like terrorizing people with guns, burning shit down. Like, that was somebody's livelihood that they worked probably their entire lives for. That's not nice. That's not a nice guy.
No, because he's still trying to create this persona where he probably should just moved on.
He should have. He may have been able to get away with it had he moved on.
Well,
not that I would want him to, but he may have been able to.
Well, the target date that he chose to rob Toys R Us was December 26th. Because the day after Christmas, the store registers would have a lot of holiday cash.
Mm-hmm. They sure as shit would.
Because customers would come in, return gifts, and they would spend Christmas money. And Manchester spent months planning for this single day, believing it would be his last crime, and the score would let him disappear with Lee and her children, and they would start somewhere out of Charlotte. So somewhere far away from Charlotte. So Manchester walked into the Toys R Us on the morning of December 26, 2004, and for the first time in his criminal career, he entered through the front door. So again, no rooftop entry. There was no hole drilled in the ceiling tiles. He was just a man walking into the store with a gun. He
Why?
knew. I think he just got cocky. He's like, it's my last. Also, I feel like every
Yeah.
time someone says it's my last whatever, that's when it goes wrong.
Yep.
It's like they
Yep.
jinx themselves or they get killed. There's this guy who was crazy, river rafter.
Mm-hmm.
He was really good at kayak, and that was his thing. I think his name was like Henrik or something. And he would go all parts of the world. He even came to West Virginia because that's the best like we have in the States for water rafting.
I did that, believe it or
Me
not.
too. I'm surprised you did it. Did you like it?
I was scared the fuck to death because everybody flipped out of the raft but me, and I was stuck in a whirlpool by myself, and they had to
Oh
rescue
God,
me.
I'd be traumatized.
Yeah,
You're
it
probably
was
just like, where did everybody go?
it was crazy, but I'll tell you why I didn't flip out, because I plan ahead, baby. Like I as soon as looked at that raft, I saw that there was one seat that had a strap like over the seat, and I'm like, I'm sitting right there because I'm going to hold on to that freaking strap. And that's why I was the only one. Like even the guide flipped out, and I was the only one in the raft. I was like it was stuck in, those whirlpools that kind of go backwards, like
Yeah.
because I was stuck in that, so I was just stopped, and it was like taking me under, and they had to like, get in kayaks and come rescue me. Like, of course it would be me. Of course it would be me.
At
But
least
we
you
were
didn't
only
fall
halfway
out.
down the river, so we still had like the rest of the way to go after that happened, and we had to go because the buses were down there. So we finished it. It was crazy though. And it was like the time of year where the rapids were the highest or worst, like level 5 or whatever, I think is what it is. I can't
Wow.
remember. It's like
And
one,
that
two,
was your
three, four, and
first
five.
time doing a level 5, and that's what you.
My gym
Wow.
teacher, this was in high school. She was crazy, and I'm pretty sure wasn't even legal that we were doing it because we had to pose as college students to be able to do it in the first place. And like
Why?
it was nuts. I don't know, but whoever our guides were excellent because I mean, that was the worst mishap we had was that one rapid. And I think the rapid was called Dimple. So you had to go between there was a whirlpool and a like rock that looked like a shark tooth that came up out of the water, and you had to maneuver between the two. And I think there was another whirlpool on the other side of the rock. So we made it through the whirlpool in the rock, but then when we got around, I think we went sideways or something. And that's when I held onto the strap and everybody was gone. And I just, luckily, it didn't suck me down under because that would have really sucked. But anyway, our guides had to be good because, like, after every rapid, we would go to the side of the river and kind of regroup and collect ourselves and get ready for the next intensity. And every time there was another team that was behind us, and they would all come floating down the river. The raft was upside down and they were all out of it. Like after every rapid, we're like, dang, we must be doing all right. Cause we were only, I think we were juniors in high school at this time, and we were posing as college students.
That would
Like
piss
this,
me off as a parent that a teacher did that with my child.
yeah. Yeah. I'm not even sure how that went down, but I mean, we were there for like 3 days and camping and everything and posing as college kids.
Wow.
So yeah, she was a really cool person though. Like my gym teacher that year, she was kind of awesome. It
Like,
was terrifying, and I don't think I'd do it again, but I'm glad I did it. I'm glad
I
I
mean,
did
I'm
it.
glad I did it. I don't, it's not my thing.
Yeah.
I'd rather just do this simple child, like, like level 1 or something. Because I
Yes.
don't want to fall in the water. Because I saw someone at a boat near us, like, we kept leapfrogging each other, and then their boat collapsed, and then he went underneath it. And it freaked him out so bad
Ooh.
that we had to pull him
Yeah.
into our raft. So, like, stuff like that terrifies me. So I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad I did it. I don't really want to do it again.
Yeah.
So just, it's a
It was
big fear of
crazy.
mine being caught under something. where it can't breathe. So you're stuck.
Same.
Like, that's like terrifying to me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I grabbed a hold of that freaking strap. I don't know how the raft didn't flip over, but had it, I probably would have been in big trouble.
But
But
the
there was a
fact when you're
girl.
panicking and you remember to grab it, like,
Mm-hmm.
that's pretty good.
Yep. Yep. I let go of my paddle and just grabbed on. Like as soon as we went sideways, I think I did that. I'm like, no, this isn't going well. And I just grabbed it, and before I knew it, everybody was gone.
And what are you going to say about a girl?
Oh, one of my peers, she actually got sucked down,
Ugh,
like under in the
really?
water. So, like, she was priority one to get her out. I mean, she was able to come up for air and stuff, but that was terrifying because I couldn't help her. Like, there's nothing I could do, and I was right there. And they got her, and then they got me. Crazy.
Yeah, that's why it's not my thing.
No, that's our story time for today, kids.
Don't pretend to be college students when you're high school. No.
No. And teachers, don't do that. What are you thinking?
I know my mom's a teacher, and I can't picture taking her students. Like, what? I can't picture it. I cannot picture it.
It's very ballsy. I'll say that.
That's a lot of lawsuits if something goes wrong. You're in charge of a lot of lives.
Yeah, she must have been a serious thrill seeker living on the edge because she
You
didn't
also
give
got
two
away with,
shits.
no, you got away with more back then than you do now.
Yeah. Yeah, that was like what, 98, 99?
Be like, track your child's phone. Like, why is my kid in the middle of like a West Virginia river right now?
Yeah. I can't even remember the chaperone situation. Like I don't even remember other parents being there. They had to be though. They had to be cool with it to be us pretending to
I
be
mean,
college
did you
students.
not sign off on a release form that you could go on the trip to begin with?
I'm sure we did. Yeah. Yeah, but I don't think that information was disclosed. I don't think we even knew that was a thing until we got to the rapids.
She probably wanted to do the crazy rapid, so she's like, guys, we're just gonna pretend we're college students so we can do it.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure it was probably because we were minors. We wouldn't have been allowed to do it otherwise. Crazy.
I don't know. I'm gonna
Anyway.
stick with level 1.
Yeah, even that though, I'm kind of competitive, believe it or not, when it comes to certain things. And Tony and I went to, have you ever been to Mohican, the
I
state
think
park
so.
that's north of here? And they
Yeah.
have this river where it's kind of like a lazy river, but it's an actual river where you just get in, like you can rent rafts or canoes and just kind of like let it just take you down, and everybody's just kind of chilling. Not us. We were like rowing, like weaving in and out of people. And I remember this one couple was like, "Oh, we got some serious canoers coming." We're like, "Row, row!" It was so fun. We saw some. There was a gay couple, two dudes, and they had their little. I don't know what it was. If it was a chihuahua, it was like a tiny little dog that was in a life jacket, and their whole raft
Oh,
flipped.
no, not the dog.
He was okay, but it was hilarious to see because it was you could stand like once you flipped, like you could stand
Oh,
up in the
okay.
water,
What if your little
but
chihuahua?
they were talking so much shit about us, and then they ended up flipping their raft. So I was like, "Ha, karma!" But the
What are they
chihuahua was
saying
fine.
about you?
They were just because we were all serious and like just wanting to row our freaking boat
Gently down the stream.
gently down the stream. That was
Merrily,
fun.
merrily, merrily.
Anyway, okay, that's end of part 2 story time.
Yes.
If you're still here, you're a real one.
Again, Jeffrey Manchester.
She told me to banter a lot today.
I didn't know how long it was going to be. But so yes, where we left off, Jeffrey Manchester, it was his first time walking through the door with a gun in his criminal career. And when he walked in, he would already know where the employees would be positioned as they prepared for the post-Christmas rush, and he understood the layout by every single inch just from studying it for months. But it immediately went wrong. Somehow, two employees managed to slip away from his control, and so while he was focused on corralling with other workers and accessing the safe, they went outside frantically and they called the police. So somehow they just made their way outside, called the police while he was distracted with the safe. And the response was very quick. The Charlotte Mecklenburg police descended on the store within minutes, as well as an off-duty officer. He happened to be nearby, and he arrived even before the backup. And that officer confronted Manchester, and for the first time in his criminal career, the polite roofman turned violent. He punched the officer and fled, and abandoned his elaborate plan mid-execution.
What were you thinking, dude?
I mean, at least he didn't shoot him. He just punched
Yeah,
him in the
that's
face.
true.
So I'd rather be punched in the face than shot. So violent, yes. Deadly, no.
It must have been a pretty damn good punch for him to be able to get away after. Whew.
It was military, so. And this time, Manchester left evidence everywhere because he was living there. So his evidence was everywhere. They
I wonder
brought
if
police dogs. Huh?
he had to think about that. Like what he got so cocky. But that's not even cocky at that point.
I'm sure he thought about it, but he was getting lazy because he's like, I've been doing this for months. How are they going to find out? No one knows I'm here. And then by the time they do, I'm going to move away far from Charlotte because I got the money to start a new life with my girlfriend and her children. So they brought police dogs to the scene, and they led investigators above the ceiling tiles where Manchester had stashed over $7,000 worth of stolen toys. And that's when the search expanded next door to the vacant Circuit City, and that's when they found Manchester's secret apartment. It's like kind of ironic, but the most damning piece of evidence sat among the DVDs was a copy of Catch Me If You Can. And on that DVD case was the only fingerprint police would find in the entire room.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Considering that's where he was living, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, so the single fingerprint connected the dots instantly. Sergeant Catherine Shamiroff, totally butchered that, head of a federal task force targeting violent offenders, took over the case, and her team began piecing together Manchester's life as John Zorn. So they traced his movements, his routines, his connections, and that's what brought them to the Presbyterian Church. And then church members recognized Manchester's photo immediately when police distributed it through the local media. An officer approached Lee at work just days after her birthday. He carried a photograph, and the conversation that followed shattered her world completely, and the police needed her help. Manchester had slipped away, but they knew he'd eventually try to contact Lee. And if she called him, they know he's going to come. And so on January 5th, 2005, Lee picked up her phone, and Manchester took the bait. He arrived at Lee's apartment carrying flowers, and as Manchester approached with the flowers, that's when the officers moved in. So the arrest was quick, like there was no chase, there was no fight, there was no dramatic confrontation. And Manchester had built a beautiful life in Charlotte. He created a life that felt real and meaningful. He surrounded himself with people who generally cared about him. And his choice in robbing this Toys R Us is what destroyed the life he built. So John Zorn died on January 5th, 2005, and Jeffrey Manchester, the Roofman, was going back to prison.
Bye.
And prosecutors laid out a catalog of charges: burglary, weapons, violations, arson, because again, he burnt down the dentist's office, and prison escape and more. So he's got tagged on a bunch of... boy.
As if 45 years wasn't enough.
Nope. And of course, as you know, he was found guilty on all counts. So the judge sentenced Manchester to 40 additional years in prison.
Is this the same judge?
I don't know. So he sentenced to additional 40 years in prison, stacked on top of the original 45-year sentence that he'd been serving. So 85 years total.
For what? Nothing to show for it.
So at 28, when first convicted, Manchester would theoretically be 113 years old before completing both sentences. The judge wanted to send a message that escape, regardless of how creative or charming, carried severe penalties. Manchester had embarrassed the entire North Carolina correctional system by slipping out of Brown Creek, and they weren't about to let him forget it. Lee's reaction was surprising, so when director Derek Cianfrance and screenwriter Kurt Gunn interviewed her years later for the film adaptation, they expected anger, rage, bitter resentment toward this man who basically used her, and he lived his life being a double criminal. Instead, Lee spoke about Manchester with a warmth that caught them off guard. She described the relationship as the most exciting time in my life and even called him wonderful, even knowing everything she knows now. And after his arrest, she even told reporters that she doesn't hate him. She's like, I'm disappointed, I'm confused, I don't know whether to smack him or hug him.
That would be confusing. Double lives. I saw this, I don't know what case it was, but it was a guy on the run. He'd been on the run for so long that he had made a new life across the country with this new woman, and they'd been together for 7 years when cops tracked him down in his front yard. And she's like, what the hell's going on? Could you imagine? That would be such a mind fuck.
Yeah, if it was Ryan, Ryan's the only Ryan I know, but the fact that he was living a double life and finally was outed, I wouldn't know what to do.
It'd be so confusing.
Because that's the person you fell in love with. That's the person you trusted
Yeah.
with your own kids.
Mm-hmm.
He treated you well.
Yeah.
So I get where it is confusing.
Mm-hmm. I
And I
definitely
don't
do.
think she's a bad person for saying the nice things about him.
No, and it probably took her a very long time to get over that. I'm sure she was completely heartbroken.
I would probably be scarred for life.
Yeah.
How fast your life can change in an instant.
Especially since she had such a shitty past relationship. And this was like a dream come true to all
Exactly.
come crashing down.
And after his second conviction, authorities transferred Manchester to Central Prison in Raleigh, North Carolina. It's the oldest and most secure correctional facility. It was built in 1884 during Reconstruction with granite walls and a castle-like design. Central Prison was where the state housed its most notorious criminals and those requiring maximum security. And the move from Marion Correctional Institute, where he initially been held after his 2005 arrest, to Central Prison signaled the state's awareness that Manchester was a flight risk, because they're not wrong.
To say the least.
And prison records document escape attempts in February 2009 and October 2017. Those state privacy laws prevent officials from releasing details about what actually Manchester tried. We just know that he failed on both attempts. So don't know how he tried it this time, but he was not successful. And Manchester works in the prison's industries building, which houses the state license plate fabrication shop and print shop. And his current work assignments offer fewer opportunities for his creative engineering. And at 54 years old, as of 2025, so this year, Jeffrey Manchester has spent 25 years behind bars. He's now closer to his projected release date than to his original crimes. So December 4th, 2036, he'll be 65 when freed, assuming no additional infractions delay his release or successful escape attempts add more years to his sentence. So more than half his adult life will have been spent incarcerated in North Carolina.
What a shame. He could have had such a different life.
And then when the director Derek, whose last name I can't pronounce, he first contacted Manchester about making a film of his story, he couldn't simply call the prison, so instead Derek got his phone number to Manchester and then called collect from Central Prison. So what began as research for a movie actually evolved into an unlikely relationship. Over 4 years, Manchester called Derek 3 to 4 times per week, and then the conversations were like over hundreds of hours. And then basically Manchester joked, since they spent like so much time together, he'd just call him Dr. Derek, because he's shrinking his head with all their psychological discussions about crime, family, and like redemption. And in conversations with Derek, Manchester did express genuine remorse for the fear he'd caused employees that were locked in the freezers, for abandoning his own children, and for manipulating Lee, and even betraying the pastor. And he did acknowledge that him being polite during these robberies, they didn't do anything for the trauma that he inflicted. Even after calling 911 afterward to ensure workers were freed, obviously is not going to get rid of their terror of being held at gunpoint.
Yeah.
And it was said the regret seems authentic, so could be debatable, who knows. And then when Derek told Manchester that Channing Tatum would portray him in the film, Manchester's response captured his personality perfectly, he said. He initially joked, quote, "You need to cast someone uglier," end quote. And Tatum actually got to speak with Manchester. So and after speaking, he realized that like Channing and him have a lot in common. He said, "We both have a very high motor. We both play defensive end, and we're both extremely good looking."
Oh, so now he's good looking.
And Manchester hasn't seen the film all the way through, just like clips have been aired on the local news that reached him somehow. And then there is a scene that showed Tatum's Manchester, so the movie for Channing Tatum, that he's skating through the Toys R Us in Heelys with a teddy bear strapped to his back, which I've seen that in a preview. And like Derek even mentioned, he captured Tatum just fooling around between takes. And Manchester's response was, quote, "That makes me so happy to hear. The thing that most people don't realize is that if you lock yourself in a toy store for 6 months, it has a way of bringing out your inner child. And I'm really happy that Channing got a chance to experience that," end quote.
Okay, bud. Okay.
And that's the story of Jeffrey Manchester.
So disappointing. Such talent wasted.
Do you think he got what he deserved?
Yeah, I mean, he's a criminal. He was stealing from people. He was tearing people's dreams down. He was putting terror in people's lives, traumatizing them, whether he meant to or not, happened. He was lying to his loved ones, which that's a whole different story, but still. Yeah, he escaped prison. I mean, I think he definitely got what he deserved. I just think it's stupid that he ended up there. He did not have to. So that's frustrating, because he could have done so much more with what he learned in his days in the military.
He could have helped a lot of people with his skills.
He could have. Yeah. And the fact that once he escaped, he just did it again, but even worse, and got lazy about it and cocky about it. Like, I don't know. I mean, he definitely is where he belongs, in my opinion. What do you think?
I agree. I mean, 2036 might tell a different story.
Yeah.
When he's released, but like we've mentioned in the first episode, I'm glad he didn't kill anybody, but still a criminal at the end of the day.
Criminal, brilliant mind. Brilliant mind.
But yet somehow I feel like if I'm going to watch the movie, I'm going to be rooting for him, because I'm curious how they're going to portray him.
Yeah. Yeah, they're probably going to make him very likable.
Be like, why can't him and Lee just be together?
Yeah. And then that's going to be heartbreaking too, seeing her get her heart broken.
Kirsten Dunst.
Oh, is that who plays her?
I believe so.
Gosh, I haven't seen her in something in forever.
Yeah, so if I watch it, I'll let you know. I'm just waiting for it to come out from theaters, because I don't want to go to theaters and watch it.
So what do you guys think? Do you think that he's where he belongs? Do you think that the justice system was too harsh on him? If you would like to let us know, you know where to. weeklybazarpodcast@gmail.com. And you can find us on all the social medias at Weekly Bazaar Podcast. You can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/weeklybazaar, $5 a month. Keeps us going, keeps the reels flowing, keeps me fed. Buy me some noodles. Please and thank you. Happy Halloween. We are excited about next week's episode drop, so stay tuned for that one because you guys are going to be like, what? It's so cool. So if it's weird,
we're going to talk about it.
Bye.
Boo.
Boo.